Hey everyone, welcome back to, I guess this is my first official video. Anyways, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, weekend, month, whatever. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my top 5 tips for beginner photography businesses. These are tips that I wish I knew or someone told me, and I think they're important. If you've already applied them to your business, then you are doing great. If you haven't, I would suggest taking them into consideration. Either way, I hope you enjoy the video. So just a quick disclaimer, I do want to just mention that everyone's growth is different. Everyone succeeds in a different amount in the beginning. Everyone has their failures. No one's road to success is paved easily. There's always going to be trials and errors, and I'm here to help you through the process so that you have someone to learn from. I had to learn the process all on my own, so it was a little bit more difficult for me, but I think that has made me the photographer I am. And so just remember, when you're going through those hard times are there to make you the person you're going to be in the future. So my first tip might seem incredibly just duh, but really a lot of people don't know this, and if you do know this, great. If you don't, this is important, is having a professional Gmail. Not Yahoo, not AOL. I know that might be what you prefer, but nowadays, in today's media and social media, everything is used with a Gmail. It's easier to have your business connected to a Gmail for all of your accounts to be connected to it, and just making line of communication simple and easy. And when I say professional, I mean the name of your business. My business is Ibarra Photography, and I don't really use my first name. However, Ibarra Photography was already taken, so I do use the first letter of my first name and then Ibarra.photography. I use that for all of my business. For just streamline of communication, I connect it to my website, my Instagram, everything is connected to that email. Tip 2. Again, in this age, it might seem like social media is an obvious start, but to some people who are a little bit older that are just getting started, it's not quite obvious. Social media is a great way to connect all of your followers and potential clients and have them all see your work and the greatness that it is and what makes you you. With a website, it's sometimes hard to gain interaction and attractment because no one wants to be clicking on certain galleries and scrolling through sometimes a harder website to navigate. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you decide to use, it helps gain potential clients that you've worked with in the past. It helps them to be able to quickly post your work that you've given them, and that way it reaches their followers. It's really just great all around. I could do a whole video just talking in depth in just social media and how great it is, but it also cannot be so great, and it is getting more and more difficult for creators to reach that potential clientele just with algorithms. And I can talk forever on how to work with the algorithm in order to get seen and to gain potential clients. Like I said in my last video, or maybe I didn't say, I don't know, but about 85% of my clientele is strictly from Instagram. Whether they find me on Instagram and book through my website or email me, it is mainly through Instagram. The rest are business cards, word of mouth, just like, the old-fashioned way. Tip number 4. This is something that I feel like no one talks about. When I was starting, I had no idea what to charge. How am I supposed to price myself as a beginning photographer? I looked all over the internet, and it was like workshops you had to pay for. No one talks about pricing for beginners. It's really like, and if they do, like, I couldn't find them, but like, it's something people don't really talk about, or photographers don't really talk about, is pricing. And I think that can kind of be a downfall, because as a starting photographer, you can either lowball yourself or charge too much, and in that case you won't be getting as many clients. So having a right price point is really important. And everything I've read and everything I've learned is always, yes, pricing really does matter on the amount of experience you have. And for someone who's starting, it might not feel like you have enough experience to be charging buku bucks or whatever. But I still charge pretty minimum amount. I charge between $100 to $200 just for portraits, which might sound like a lot, but once you get into photography and learning it, you'll learn that's actually probably one of the lower price points for someone with my experience. Again, it's up to you. It's up to your personality. Whatever you feel like you're worth, that's what you should charge. When I was starting out, I did about $65 for an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I have since taken away the time limit and have strictly gone to amount of images that you receive. Because my style of shooting, I can get a lot done in an hour. It sometimes does not feel worth it to me if I'm just go for an hour. You'll get like 1,000 images. So I've limited it to like $100 is like you get 30 images, 25 to 30 images, I think is what it is. It's bad. I don't even really know my pricing, but I'll put it right here. It's somewhere around that range. But again, starting out, you can charge anything you want. And I know that might not seem like it helps, but it's kind of go with your gut. Obviously, don't charge $300 for 30 minutes, but I started with like 65 to 75, then I bumped it up to 100, and then offering deals. The thing that I would say is just kind of go with your gut, go with what you believe. Ask around, ask your parents, ask your friends, like, hey, according to my work, how much do you think you would have paid for it? And then kind of work from there. Number 5, a question I get all the time in my inbox from starting photographers in particular is, what gear do you need to start? My answer, and I love giving this answer, it was something I was told when I first started by a teacher who believed in me, was it doesn't matter on the gear that you have, whether or not it's top end or top quality, it matters what's behind the camera. The person who works the camera, that mind is the top quality gear you need. So when I say, what gear do you need? It's knowledge. It's learning your camera. It's learning the basics, working from the bottom to the top, knowing how to adjust your aperture to shutter speeds, your sync ratio, like all of those big words. Yes, it might take you a little while to learn, but they're important to learn. To be a professional photographer, you can't just put it on auto and hope for the best. Obviously, you will need gear to start. So gear that I do recommend is obviously a camera. Again, it does not matter how expensive that camera is. I started with just a normal Canon DSLR that was like, I think it was like $300, maybe a little bit more, but it was a gift that I got for my graduation, and I used it till 1, it broke, and 2, I had learned everything about that camera, the ins and outs. I almost at one point took it apart. I decided not to because I don't think I go to probably put it together, but I knew it so much that I was able to know all of the bits and pieces, and that came from knowledge and learning and going to classes and talking to people and online research and just reading the manuals. As a starting photographer, I recommend a reflector. Is really important to have. I will have an Amazon link down below for a whole list of cheap, inexpensive gear that I started with and that I think is really important. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I definitely think filming this was a lot easier than filming my intro, which took me 1 time to film, but like 6 times to edit. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm hopeful for the future, and like I said in my last video, I really look forward to learning and growing and watching whatever this is grow, and I really look forward to bringing you guys along with me. I'll see you next week or in a few seconds. Bye.